Hello everybody, Glass Half Dead here. Today I'm going to have a little chat about artificial scarcity and why it's okay sometimes and why Games Workshop is not doing it the okay way. First things first, I'm going to read through the Warhammer community article that they just released so that we're all on the same page, we all know what we're doing. If you're not into that, you've already read the article somewhere on screen right now. Hopefully there is a nice timestamp for you telling you where to go for the rant to begin, which hopefully this time will be a little bit more structured than last time. We all like a good, well-structured rant, I know. Sisters of Battle Situation Report. When you all said you wanted plastic, Adeptus Sororitas, you really meant it. We're so excited to see the love you folks have for this new range. Everyone here at Games Workshop put a huge amount of creative energy into remaking this faction, and it's been truly humbling to see your response. This weekend, we celebrated the redesigned Sisters of Battle with pre-orders at a special launch set, and our healthy supply sold out online in record time. Do note they say healthy supply. Even so, we know that there are plenty of folks out there who missed it, and to you, we'd like to say we are sorry. We produced a huge number of this box, sure you did, but even our optimistic estimates didn't anticipate the full scale of the demand. We're working on some pretty cool fixes for this kind of thing going forward though. Right now, we're putting the finishing touches on a new factory next door to our HQ, so we can make even more Warhammer models, and we've just started work on a massive distribution hub, so we'll be able to stock and ship more Warhammer than ever. They're telling us lies. Let's keep going. Those fixes are a little way off, but we want to assure you that we're on it, and you can rest easy knowing that when the full release of the Adeptus Sororitas lands in early 2020, there will be plenty to go around. That is good news. You do still have a chance to get hold of the Sisters of Battle Army set. Your local Warhammer store will have a limited supply of copies for launch on Friday 29th. Do note it's launching Friday, not Saturday. That is definitely something to keep in mind if you're genuinely trying to pick a copy up. And you might find some in your nearest independent retailer too. Make sure to get there early and you may still be able to grab a copy. Even if you don't, or there isn't a Warhammer store near you, don't lose faith. The Army box was only the tip of the blade, the vanguard of a massive Sisters of Battle release that will be here before you know it. While for now the contents of the Army set are specific to that particular box, units from the set will be getting their own multi-part release in early 2020. Here are a few blah blah blah. Okay. And then there's the rest of the stuff, but they're just covering stuff we already know about Adeptus Sororitas, Sisters of Battle there. We don't really need to read that, because that's not what we're talking about. We are talking about the fact that they just lied to us. Okay, just before we get to it, I just want to show you another picture I have up here. Let me zoom in on this for you. Currently on eBay, these are the prices that people are putting up the Sisters of Battle box set for. Now, they haven't sold, obviously. I don't think they will sell, but they're up there for those prices. Just something to keep in mind. That is the perceived value from sellers. Okay? We need to go over a few things here and the concept of artificial scarcity. My first notion is to disprove a few of the things that they say here, and then, disprove as much as anyone could disprove anything. Obviously, it's all speculation. And then I'm also going to say why they are doing artificial scarcity incorrectly. Because they are. I've highlighted it on the screen. We know that there are plenty of folks out there who missed out. They do know that. And to you, we'd like to say that we are sorry. We produced a huge number of this box, but even our optimistic estimate didn't anticipate the full scale of the demand. That is a lie. So, Games Workshop has done this many times before. They are not... Okay, I know that people like to give Games Workshop shit for being a bad company, but they're not. They're an amazing company. From a business perspective, they seem to know exactly what the fuck they're doing, okay? Their stock is insane at the moment. If you had bought their stock 3 years ago, you're a smart man. You are a smart man. I mean, even just last week, it shot up by 17%. Nuts. Anyway, Games Workshop has a business model, and at this point we can only call it a business model, where they consistently put out what people typically call a loss leader. Okay? It's not. A loss leader implies they are actually taking a loss. they are not taking a loss on these products. Let's be very clear on that. They put out something that in most industries would be called a loss leader. For them, it is not a loss leader. They're not actually losing money. They are losing out on the amount that they could potentially charge for it, though. And so they get people in with these good value box sets. They've done this, I think most notably, was with the Shadow Wars Armageddon box set. It was the first time they had released the new Sector Mechanicus terrain. And they put a whole bunch into that box, and it sold instantly. They clearly had only printed, like, I can't even imagine, 1,000 copies tops. Like, they really did not print enough. But they didn't mention it. So interestingly here, they've put out like an apology saying, hey, our bad. There was no mention of that back then. It was just, it sold out, haha. Didn't get it, haha. And that's fine, I guess. Now, if that was a one-off, fair enough. It is entirely possible that Games Workshop genuinely underestimated demand. They then did it again with Kill Team, where that was the only way you could get, well, that was the cheapest and by far best way to pick up the new Sector Imperialis terrain. And that sold out not as quickly as the original Sector Imperialis Mechanicus terrain, Shadow War Armageddon box, but still significantly faster than they seem to have printed copies for. Okay, so it's happened twice. You know, maybe that was intentional. Who knows? We now get the Sisters of Battle box. Games Workshop knew how much this was wanted. This is proven by the fact that this is the only product that they have been hyping pretty damn hard for an entire year before it was released. Maybe over a year and a half. You know, every month or 2 months we had an update on the Sisters of Battle. They have deliberately been building hype. They have deliberately been trying to create a box set that will sell out. And as we know with Games Workshop box sets, boxes like these will be good value compared to the individual kits. But that's, of course, only looking at 40k. We can also look at Loon Curse, which was an Age of Sigmar box set released. Or we could look at the new Blood of the Phoenix. Or we could look at any of those sets, right? So there was Feast of Bones just now as well. They are getting more and more expensive. They are still selling out. We now come to Sisters of Battle. It's sold out. That's fine. I don't have a problem with something selling out. Here's the other thing. Yes. Is this actually artificial scarcity? Yes, it is. They have printed a certain number of this box and have then decided to not print anymore. There's nothing, this is purely artificial scarcity. If they wanted to give us more of this box set at this price, they would. You know, okay, maybe they didn't print enough. Maybe they're going to do a second run. They're not. They have made that conscious decision. Therefore, what they are doing is building the hype, saying, hey, this is the best way to get Sisters of Battle. This is the only way you can get anything from Sisters of Battle for 2-3 months. Anybody that gets this, they are going to be the only ones with the codex, with the models to play the game. And obviously, it's going to be the cheapest way to get it as well. Those are the decisions they have made. Now, let's look at other forms of artificial scarcity. I think the most famous one is, of course, Apple. Every year, every time Apple releases a phone, they haven't made enough. We all know they could have. In fact, I'm pretty sure they have. They just haven't left the factories yet. And they do that very, very deliberately. Because human psychology is hardwired into us that if we feel we cannot get something, we want to get it. It's something called FOMO, fear of missing out. It's very much a real thing. It's been studied pretty extensively in the psychological sphere. I don't have the credentials to talk about it to any great depth, but it's very much a thing. What this will do is give people, again, we're thinking about the iPhone here. The fact that you can no longer buy the iPhone then gives people that wanted to buy the iPhone or were considering buying the iPhone social proof. This is something that everybody wants. I've got to have it as well. Oh, I can't get it yet. I'm going to put my pre-order down now. No, I'm not even going to look at the specs of the latest Samsung or the latest Huawei or the latest Hero or whatever. I'm going to pre-order this because I've got to have it, because if I don't, I'm going to be missing out. And other people that did get it, will have proven their social status as being higher than mine. And I do think that's fine, actually. I don't really have an issue with companies using artificial scarcity. So, why do I think that Games Workshop does artificial scarcity worse than anything else? And by anything, I mean any company, any other company. Games Workshop... Okay, so the iPhone releases. X number of people manage to buy the iPhone. 2 months later, everybody gets to buy the iPhone. There's essentially no difference. You just had to wait for the iPhone. Games Workshop, however, releases the product they are selling, but they release it at a reduced cost. So not only are they giving us the artificial scarcity, but they are actually removing the ability for us to get something. In this case, we can never get this product at this price ever again. Yes, we can go out and we can get the same product later. That's artificial scarcity. That's fine. You make me wait. I'm okay with that. But Games Workshop will never let you have what is in this box for this low a price ever again. That is scum. That's horrible. Okay? It's very similar to, I suppose, if you want to look at it in other terms. Let's imagine that there was a special unit in this box that was only in this box, and you could never get it anywhere else. It's akin to that. It's basically the same. When this box re-releases, when Games Workshop finally allows the public to buy what they are selling here, we can never buy this. And obviously to some people, money is no issue. They don't really care. Fair enough. But the fact remains, it would be as if you bought an iPhone, but if you bought the first batch, the batch that had the artificial scarcity applied to it, you had a better camera. And then everybody else, okay, they get a very similar product, but the camera's not quite as good. Oh, and it costs £100 more. That is just so scummy. Like, I can't even liken it fully to other industries, because other industries just don't do this. This is genuinely bad business practices. But the worst thing is, I can't even fault Games Workshop, because holy shit, it's working. Not on me. I didn't want this product. I'm the fortunate one here. I didn't want this. But their stock price is going insane. And this is the kind of industry that doesn't get hit as hard by recessions. People, for some bizarre reason, still buy these products. This is going to keep on happening, because it makes Games Workshop so much money. And until people stop giving them money for doing exactly this, they are going to keep on doing it. But the problem is, we will keep on giving them the money for this, because we all know that the next box they do of this, like this, is going to be exactly the same. It's going to be a saving. It's going to be limited edition. So if we decide to vote with our wallet, that's great for us, but nobody else is. So you have to buy it now. Otherwise, you become this. You become this right here. And this is a whole nother can of worms that I don't have the emotional energy to go into right now. But some people are scum, and they are taking full advantage of this. To be fair, though, this sort of scumminess happens in all industries. You can find the latest iPhone, up at a ludicrous price. So, some people might actually buy this. If you are, I think you're a bit crazy. Doesn't really make any sense. You're just getting the same things like 2 months early. You should just wait, because this is now a loss. You're not making a saving, so why would you do that? Anyway, I'm really frustrated. Games Workshop does this a lot. They do it with their Black Library limited edition books as well. Games Workshop needs to seriously sort out its limited edition operation. They're not doing good things. This is genuinely bad business practices. But that's all I have to say, and I don't really have a way to fix it because, hey, if this was an army I wanted, yeah, I'd be buying it. And I wouldn't be complaining because I'd have gotten my order in. But there you go. That's because I'm scum, I guess. Anyway, on a very minor side note for anyone into Kill Team that's going to Darksphere this Sunday, I've just released a video over on my Patreon that tells you what I'm thinking of bringing. So check that out. Otherwise, jump into my Discord where you could talk about all things Kill Team. Or drop a comment, leave a like, a subscribe, and make sure in your comment you tell me how wrong I am and how I should have written a script for this because what the fuck am I doing?